Okay, guys, we're back on the Rise podcast. Welcome back. We are in Psalms chapter 9. Dang, I feel like I haven't done like an actual long form video in a while. I've been busy, but we're back. I didn't really take a break or anything. It's just I've been busy. But anyways, we're in Psalms chapter 9, and yeah, so let's get it. So verses 1 through 2. All right, it's talking about how David begins with wholehearted praise. As Christians, this reminds us that gratitude should not be half-hearted. It comes from in remembering God's goodness and telling others about it. Verses 3 and 4, this is what it means. David acknowledges that God's power, not his own, defeated his enemies. So it's not our own power that defeats our enemies. It's always God's. God is portrayed as a righteous judge. Sorry. I'm still waking up. It's the morning, y'all. God is portrayed as righteous judge, meaning he is fair, sees the truth, and rules justly. For Christians today, when wronged, we trust God to defend us and not take revenge ourselves. That's also in Romans 12:19. Okay, verses 5 through 6. God brings justice against those who oppose him and harm his people. So God, he deals with his, so if we as Christians, if we have enemies, God deals with our enemies too, the way he wants to deal with them. Evil kingdoms rise and fall, but their memory fades, while God's kingdom lasts forever. This points us to Revelation. Earthly powers pass away, but God's rule endures eternally. All right, verses 7 through 8. Unlike temporary kingdoms, God's reign is forever. His rule is marked by righteousness, in parentheses, perfectly morality and equity, and in parentheses, perfect fairness. Christians can take comfort, no corruption or injustice in God's kingdom. All right, this is a long psalm, y'all. That's why we're going through this quickly here. But verses 9 through 10, this is a key promise. God is a refuge, a safe place for the hurting and oppressed. He never abandons those who seek him. As Christians, this reminds us to turn to him when life gets heavy. All right, verse 11 through 12. Worship is not just for ourselves, but also for the proclamation to the world. God hears the Christian, the afflicted. He does not forget them. This foreshadows Christ's justice for the oppressed and persecuted believers. That's in Revelation 6:10. Okay, a few more verses, y'all. Verses 13 through 14. By the way, if y'all are not subscribed, please subscribe. It helps my channel grow. It gets my name out there. Please share with your friends and family. Anyways, verses 13 through 14. David cries for mercy and suffering. He wants deliverance, not just for relief, but so he can testify about God's salvation. For Christians, we are saved not only for ourselves, but to glorify God and encourage others. Verses 15 through 16. Evil often backfires on those who plan it. God's justice is revealed when the wicked are caught in their own schemes. Verse 17. Ignoring or rejecting God leads to spiritual ruin. Nations that forget God fade. Nations that forget God fade, but individuals who reject him face eternal separation. For believers, this stresses the urgency of faith in sharing the gospel. All right, and then last but not least is verses 18 through 20. Final reassurance, God will not forget the poor and oppressed. David asked God to rise up and remind arrogant nations of their mortality. They are not gods, only human. For Christians, this reminds us of God's ultimate victory in Christ and his care for those the world overlooks. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed Psalms chapter 9. We're a little bit behind on the long form videos, but that's okay. You know, there's no time on when to end Psalms. But yeah, that's all I got for Psalms chapter 9. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this series of Psalms. And yeah, that's it.
Roller coaster ride, hands up in the sky.